So what you're going to get is 2 dresses for the price of 1. I'm Chris with Magic Maker Studio. Some of us know us as Magic Makers Academy. And I am here with B or BJ. Either. Hey, you, because I'm terrible at remembering names. But we are in our studio in downtown McKinney, Texas. And B, you're located in
Keller.
So that's about 45 minutes from here, depending on traffic and all that. Could be like 2 days from here. Yeah, 55 minutes. So anyway, so B is the founder of Blutterfly Baby Boutique, and you are basically a dressmaker and all other kinds of crazy stuff that I've seen you make. Yeah. So anyway, what we're doing, this is really our first episode of our happy hour. Yes, it's a little early for happy hour. No, we don't normally start drinking this early. Yeah, that's fair. It's never too early. And I have iced tea actually here because it is hot here in Texas.
Water.
It's over 100 degrees here, and we've got one of our air conditioners not working very good in the studio, so it's a lot warmer in here than normal for us. But this is going to be a regular series. I don't know exactly what days it'll be on. We're going to do at least once or twice a month, and my goal is to have a guest like B on, and it could be someone local, and it could be someone that we would live stream and bring on. Industry professionals, non-industry professionals, who knows? But we're going to publish these under my YouTube channel called A Bit Overexposed. And we do own the URL A Bit Overexposed. So those that know me know that's probably a very fitting title. Sometimes I might have a strong opinion or two. So anyway, that's our brand. So get used to seeing, if you see the A Bit Overexposed, we're going to try to put a lot of through there. We got a lot of great things coming. Some of y'all met David with Little Buddy Productions. He's the one that's been training us to do all of this. And we've got some podcasts coming up for our community that we'll share with our photography friends to help brand us in the community, where we're branding ourselves as an education group also. But really, let's get to what we're here for today, and that is to talk to B about these incredible dresses she makes. I found out about you through one of your client that was in our storybook workshop. Yeah. She was in our storybook workshop class, and she introduced us really, less than 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So this has been moving really quick. And so there are a lot of great dress manufacturers. There's a lot of great dresses you can rent out there. But what I loved about B when I met her and talked to her and then went over to your house and saw just some crazy designs is that you're the designer. You make everything. You don't order these from China, that kind of thing. But what made it work for me and for what I was looking for from an education standpoint is there's lots of times that we need dresses for different reasons other than just clients. And it was just difficult, as much as we needed something, to work with someone and have it shipped to us and then shipped back and that kind of thing. So you being local for us was a big factor. And then the bonus is that your dresses are just unbelievable. So I don't want to talk the whole time. So tell me a little bit about you and Blutterfly. I guess let's tackle that first, because every time I type Blutterfly, I do every time.
And it autocorrects.
And it autocorrects it, and I don't catch it because I'm a terrible proofreader.
Spelled it wrong.
So so tell us a little bit about how the name came about, because the name even came about, and the whole reason you're doing dresses, all from kind of one person.
2 people. So the name came about from my oldest daughter. You could never say Butterfly. She always said Blutterfly, and it just stuck with me. And then when I had my second daughter, almost 10 years ago, I got into boutique clothes.
Okay.
All the boutique stuff.
Right.
And then I decided I can sew, because I used to quilt over.
Okay.
I'm not even going to tell you my age. A long time ago.
Right.
I used to quilt, and I was like, if I could do that, I can make clothes. So I just started looking up YouTubes, making my own.
Right.
Vintage style clothes. So I went from me designing for my daughter to actually selling them.
Okay.
And then I went from vintage style to more couture style, because I really loved the couture look. I love both looks, but the couture look was.
So Lori, why don't you put a side by side where we can see her website? Because you've got a lot of cool things on your website. So you might be able to even tell Lori, because you do a lot of, and I'm not a dress expert, you'll learn that real quick. Avant-garde, you do, did I say that right?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not even sure, but I know you do. Listen, here's a better way to say it. You do a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, I can do crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just all traditional fabric. So I can use like hand mold plastic. I'll do 3D printed stuff for my gown.
So where on the website should Lori go to show some of the more crazy
under
things?
the Luxe Couture Reynolds, just somewhere. You could type in B. Stanley and it should pull some up. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because I want to make sure everybody understands that. But most of your business has been really not as much on the rental side in the last year or so. Is that fair? You've done a lot of.
Yeah, I did a lot of just selling the items to customers.
And who is your typical customer? Is it photographers or is it
photographers, moms?
Okay.
Moms in fashion shows, moms that like photos for their daughters. It's all over.
I do need to mention our sponsors and stuff like that. And I should have done that at first. So let me do that real quick. So we obviously work with H&H Color Lab. That's one of our biggest partners, and we do a ton of stuff with them. And a big thank you to Mary. That's the person we interact with the most at H&H. And then we've got Tog Drop. Tog Drop is the one who helps us with our background systems. And then we've got Intuition Backgrounds. And what you're looking at here, I don't remember the name of it. I think it may be called Winter Window or something like that. But we're going to shoot a couple of your dresses. We were going to do it tomorrow, but we're going to do it Sunday because one of our other sponsors, Competitive Cameras, we need to do a toast to Ramsey. Ramsey passed away last week. He was the founder of Competitive Cameras in Dallas. And anyone in Dallas area, really anyone in probably Texas or this part of the whole region of the country knows Competitive Cameras, and that Ramsey started the business sometime in the 80s. And he had tough battle with cancer and passed away. So tomorrow is a celebration of life for him. So we've rescheduled some sessions for tomorrow to Sunday, where we're going to be photographing on this background and a different one we've got through Intuition. And we're also, one of the really cool things that I'm excited about from an education standpoint is Nanlite. We are making the transition in our studio away from flashes to constant lighting. So it's a different animal. Light just isn't light. With constant light, there's definitely a bit of a learning curve. But what I love about it is when we're teaching photographers, they can see real time when you move a light, how it affects. One thing is how it's going to affect the dress and how the light's going to bounce off the dress and how the dress really sparkle or really shine. Versus when you're teaching and you set up the flashes, you've got to take a picture, then show them on the camera or show them on the laptop or that kind of thing. When we're shooting and now when we're doing our education, because Lori is becoming just a ridiculous producer behind the camera on the video side, we'll be able to run split screens where we can show the model, we can show B talking, and then we'll even be able to have another screen that when we shoot, when you'll see what comes up in the camera. So she'll be able to switch to that. So that's
the cable that goes.
Yeah, to tether. Yeah. So anyway, that's our sponsors. Who am I leaving out, Lori? I know I left somebody out. We do a ton of stuff. I think we should mention, we do a ton of stuff with Lead Savage for our marketing. So the way we communicate to our photographers is through Lead Savage with our funnels, and the email and text messages and stuff that we sent out today is all done through Lead Savage. So anyway, so we are going to be photographing several of these dresses. And the cool thing is, while you're here, I'll get your opinion on which one you think would look best with which background. So I guess tell me a little bit about how your dress is different than a lot of the other ones. I know some of the dresses are made overseas, but your dresses are all made right here in Texas. Yep. So why don't you talk about the materials and what sets your dresses apart from a lot of the other dresses that are out there?
Honestly, we all use similar fabrics because we get the fabrics from the same vendors. So I don't know. I don't pay attention to what the differences are. I just really think I pay a lot of attention to my quality. I make sure the stitching's great. I pay attention to all the details.
Do you have someone who helps you when you get busy to make?
My mom will help me with the petticoats. One friend that helps me if I get too many orders.
Okay, but a lot of the dress people are more running a dress rental business and not necessarily designing or making the dresses. They're just subcontracting that out. Yeah, I don't know the dress world either, but I think it's cool because you sent me a couple of pictures of some stuff you've got in the works. And then I saw your production area that was just overwhelming.
You mean you saw half of my production?
Okay, yeah. So what I saw was overwhelming.
Oh no, you went upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it all.
Okay. But you
I cut upstairs and I sew downstairs.
So tell me a few places where your dresses, some people might realize, not even realize who's worn your dresses or where they've been, or maybe some upcoming places that I've heard a rumor that maybe one or two of your dresses will be.
Yes, I have had dresses on Elmo's World, Not So Late Night show. I've also had a gown live, and it's right over here too on national television, AGT.
And I have that one on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that was
And what is that's America's Got Talent?
America's Got Talent.
Okay.
Victory Brinker wore it while she was singing. She's an opera singer. And then I got the chance to buy it back because they bought it from me.
Oh, okay.
So I bought it back so I could have it.
That's cool. You need to frame that one or something. So is that one of those? That's one of these
Yeah.
over here. So which
White one.
So which one is that? I'll grab it.
It's the white one, the really heavy white one.
Okay.
That's the other thing. They're really heavy.
They are, because this one, oh my God.
I told you.
I didn't even realize this one was
heavy.
that heavy. Holy cow.
You
And-
can't even pick it up.
No, yeah. So this is just, it's amazing. There we
So
go.
yeah, this one
Those
was,
that had butterflies.
and it has several layers of underneath, and it has a different color crinoline under there to give it a pop of color.
So what size or what age kind of average? Because I guess I was a little ignorant to that. We had this conversation yesterday because I've got one of my favorite clients that we want to photograph in one of these dresses. And she's McKinley's how old? 11 or 12? She's 7th grade. And she's an athlete, but so I told Dad, I said, hey, I've got some dresses. He said, you need to make sure they fit. She's really growing up. And she's a size 2'4" now, adult. So I guess I didn't understand, because I know that we've got a lot of guys in our education group that are just ignorant to dress sizes.
I try to keep it to where if it's a 7, it's usually the street clothes for that size. When you're asking me what size it fits, if I say it's a 7, it's going to fit a 7, but it's also going to fit 5, a 6, and a 9, and probably a 10, depending on their structure. This one, because AGT modified it,
Okay.
there's a zipper in the back. So this one will have a cap, how wide it is. One has a full corset
Okay.
on the back, and it has a lot of elastics. So you can stretch it out pretty wide.
Oh, okay. But yesterday, one of the things you mentioned that I was unaware of is a size 7 means, tell me if I understood that right. A size 7 means that's probably an average 7-year-old, or a size 10 is an average.
No, it
10?
means it's whoever wears that size clothes, because a 9-year-old could wear a 7.
Okay.
It's just because my daughter is 5'1". She
Okay.
wears a 14, but she's 9.
Okay.
So she's tall. So
Okay.
it depends on a 9-year-old could wear a 10.
So basically what you're saying is as
Street clothes size they wear
As
is pretty close to
okay,
that.
so as guys, we just need to ask Mom what size
Mom.
the girls need. But the sizing, so because one of the things we're going to talk about here in a little bit is a really cool thing that we've partnered on doing that I think is going to have a huge impact to photographers, because when they do our Santa stuff or they do our storybook stuff, that's a significant, you can see the set is right there. That's a significant investment, not necessarily in money, but in time for them to put that set together, right? That's a lot of work, and it takes a real commitment and stress on some level, because if they're going to make the rocks and they're going to put all that set together, they're going to spend a couple of weeks in finding props. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What's that? If I build it,
spending all that money.
yeah, if I build it, they will come kind of thing. It's okay, I'm going to spend this money putting this set together. Am I going to sell any sessions? So the great thing about running a dress program or shooting some fine art images or going down that path is most likely the photographers already have backdrops. So they've already got their lights. So if they can get a pretty dress and some simple props, they can create some beautiful images and really market to their clients and not have a significant investment other than just renting the dress. That's really not that big a deal. So what's important, I think, is that if they rented a couple of dresses from you so that they had various sizes, they can really get a wide selection of different kids because the dresses will fit different people.
Correct. And it's because they're so flexible. Now, if you get a dress with sleeves, obviously some kids have bigger arms. So this is a 5. It may not go much more than a 6 because of that, but it will go lower. And then it has the corset and the elastic in the back as well.
Now,
But
do you have dresses?
again, the length is also going to factor into how much you can go up. So some of them I make them extra long because photographers don't care that it's hitting the ground. It looks great. It won't swish them anyway.
Then we don't have to worry about getting them fancy shoes and things like that.
Yeah. So I make them longer so that you can move up with the model a couple, 2, 3 sizes, maybe even 4 sometimes. I've had 22-year-olds wearing these gowns. So
wow. So that was really one of my next questions. What if they want to do sessions and they've got a mom and the little girls and they want to do like a mommy and me or something like that? So do you have gowns that the little girls can wear and the moms can wear where they have the continuity between them?
Making some ladies' dresses, mostly avant-garde style, but I have plans to make others that so they have mommy and me sets. And I also started making like sister sets.
Okay.
So that's why a majority of my clothes are not sister sets, but there were a lot that are because I started adding it in.
Okay. And then when someone rents a dress, when we used to rent dresses a lot more than we have in the last 6 or 7 months, I would say, one of the biggest challenges that we had, and I know it's pretty standard though, the rental period is typically what? So 3 to 4 days?
It's usually 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
Correct.
So that would be a little bit of a challenge because if I wanted to run a special where we're going to do a princess style photo shoot or something, then we would probably just have to get a picture of the dress off your website. And then we would share that in our ad on Facebook. And we would say, hey, we've got these princess shoots coming up. And then we would try to book the clients and then we would get the dress in.
And the photographers were always afraid to share that dress because they didn't make that picture. They didn't take that.
Right. So I think what we will talk about here in a minute is we're doing something that's really not ever been done from what I can see in the industry, the partnership that we're going to have that's going to be really cool. That's going to help the photographers overcome part of that challenge. And some of it is, you got to give my wife credit too. Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about. But before we go into that, what I want to know, are there any questions, Lori, that anyone has of B? So if y'all have questions, this is a great chance for you to ask a dress manufacturer. I don't know if that manufacturer is the right word. What do you? Designer. There we go. Dress designer.
I do not manufacture.
Showing my ignorance, right? I know more about bourbon than I do dressing.
I do have ADHD, so I might work on about 20 at the same time.
Well, that's me too. I've always got 100 things going. So I am curious if there are any questions about dresses, about photographing the dresses, anything like that, kind of before we go into really probably the most excited I've been about a new venture, a new workshop, not just a new workshop, but for us, it's going to be a game changer in our, what I call dress program as well. Nothing, Lori? No questions yet? Okay. So why don't we talk about August 17th and 18th?
Telling about
my ADHD get me?
Your ADHD way flew past it.
Okay. Tell me what it is.
You're on how many days you can rent it?
Yeah, how many days? Yeah, and that's what I was, so normally it's 3 or 4 days. And it's for me, the challenge has always been, God, I really want to get the dress in, bring in a young girl, photograph her, create the image, and then use that image in my Facebook ads and marketing to my clients. So I photographed it. It's got my style. It's got everything that says me, and then market and then book sessions.
What your photos look like.
Yes. They'll know, hey, this is exactly what it looks like. And that's always been it's really almost impossible to do it unless you pay for double or triple rental or something like that. That's what's exciting, is this program that I talked to you about, and I twisted your arm a little bit and I said, I said, we need to do this. And I think it'll be a game changer for you. And I know it's going to be a game changer for me. And I really know, because I've got a couple of colleagues that I didn't just say, hey, this is what I want to do. I talked with them, says, hey, what do you think about this? What if I could do this or do this? And they absolutely loved it. They thought it was just brilliant that that you would work with us to do something like this. So I guess why don't we?
So what he's trying to say is we went from the 3 to 4 days to either a 6-day rental or a 12-day rental.
Right.
And you could pick whichever one you want. And if you pick the 12-day, it's only adding like $20 to your rental just to keep it for that much longer.
Yeah. So what we're going to do in order to do that, let me take a step back. So let's talk about August 17th and 18th, because that's how all of that's going to come about, because that's not something that you can just put on your website and put out there for everyone, right?
So the 6 and 12 days is on there for everybody.
Okay. So what we're offering through the workshop
It's different.
is a little different. So yeah, why don't we wait just a second? Let me expand it, because the hard part is I want to share about this, and there's so many moving parts in what we're trying to do and educate is, so what B and I have been talking about for the last week, we've been talking every day, back and forth, lots of text messages. So what I wanted to do is I love shooting fine art. I love that as much as I do Santa or my storybook. It's just, we've had a lot of success in the last couple of years with our fine art children's portraits. I just love it. I wish I'd had some of my girls when they were younger. But I still was struggling with that hurdle of the short-term dress rental thing. And so I wanted to come up with a way that we could get the dresses longer. And then talking with my other colleagues, I said, and then I met you through Victoria. So we've created a program, and we're going to do a workshop on August 17th and 18th. And you're going to be here all day on the 17th. And we're going to have a bunch of dresses. We don't know exactly how many models. We're going to have 2 to 4 models, probably 4. We're going to have several different backgrounds from Intuition. And so what we're going to do is we're going to photograph these different models, and we're going to learn the basic 4 lighting pattern setup. So we're going to teach your glamour lighting, your split lighting, your loop lighting, and your Rembrandt lighting. We're going to teach those using NAND lights, and we're going to show everyone how to use constant light and light the background, light the subject. We're going to do that. The cool thing is this workshop it's going to be 2 options for people. We can take up to 8 photographers in studio. I honestly really hope we only have about 6, because then more people get to shoot. We're not really stumbling over each other. So we'll be shooting all day. So we're going to shoot as much as these models want to shoot. Right now, it looks like I've got one of the top hair and makeup girls, one that I've used for years, is available. So we'll shoot all these different dresses, different styles, and we'll have multiple cameras so people can see me talking. They can see what I'm adjusting the lights, how I'm setting the lights. Then when we're shooting, they will see the model. So it's going to be really cool, really different from a typical workshop. So we'll have some in person, but then the majority of the people will be on Zoom or on our live stream, right? So there's that. So then day 2, what we're going to do is we're going to go in and edit these. We're going to do 2 different styles. We're going to do a fine art edit, and then we're going to do more of a vintage style edit. And I haven't even talked about that with you. So I definitely want to find a dress or 2 that kind of gives us maybe an old Victorian or a real vintage kind of old master's style.
The Bridgerton one I just did?
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Bring that.
Yep. That's perfect. So you got a new Bridgerton dress, because I want to edit one in a real old master's, not a princess style fine art, but just a real old vintage Hudson River school style of art. I've been really getting into that look lately. So we'll do these couple of editing styles.
An adult Daphne gown.
And I have no idea what a Daphne gown is.
You watch Bridgerton?
So
Daphne.
So that'd be awesome if we could have, the princess style, what I call the princess style, these, and not all of these are princess. So I know we're going to have a Christmas scene set up with some teddy bears and some things like that with the beautiful red and a kind of maybe an old vintage look. But what we're going to do on day 2 is not only are we going to edit, we're going to teach how you can use AI to create custom backgrounds that have continuity with the dress. So we're going to teach how you can do that. So what you'll be able to do as a photographer is they'll be able to go on your site, look through your dresses, pick out what dress they want to have come in, and then they can take that image, and we're going to show them taking that image, how they can go about creating maybe a custom background. And then what they'll be able to do is they'll be able to order that background through Intuition, or they can look and see if Intuition has something. Obviously they will, something that they just don't even want to mess with making one. They can order something but they'll be able to order their own custom backgrounds through Intuition. So I think that's pretty cool to have a background design specifically for a dress. So photographers, if they want something that is specifically unique to them, and that's a really big story that you can tell when you're promoting your work and promoting your sessions. We do something called the Master Series where I do everything. I shoot it, I edit it, and then I print it. So some of y'all can't do that. I print it and then I embellish it. So don't let me forget to talk about the embellishing because that's going to be really cool.
Cut it, I sew it, and I embellish it.
Yes, there you go. But the cool part of this is we're going to do all that. Then I'm going to pull a print that I have right here over in just a second and show you all that. But what I'm leading up to is the part that we've worked out for anyone that takes the workshop for at least a year. They're going to get their own personal code that they can use. So when they go to rent your dresses, they're going to get a 2-for-1. So what you're going to get is 2 dresses for the price of 1. And shipping shouldn't really change much because you can put 2 dresses in a box that's about the same size as 1. So for anyone that attends the workshop, you're going to get a personal code. Like I would have one, I'll make something up. I'd have one that would be Twitchy 50 off or something like that. And so whenever I go to your site and I rent dresses, hair pieces, whatever's on there, and I go to check out, I'm going to get half off of that as long as I do 2 dresses.
And you got to put the code in.
Yeah, you got to put the code in. So it's a buy one, get one. So that's going to be good for at least a year. So this workshop will pay for itself after 2 rentals. And then the part that I'm not going to talk a lot about here, you and I have talked some about it, but we're going to reveal during that workshop a marketing strategy and a marketing plan. We're going to show you the Facebook ads that we do to promote our dress program. And we're going to share this. And there's a reason I'm not sharing it here because this video is going to get posted to YouTube. And I just don't want everyone seeing this. I don't want the general public seeing this. This is for kind of insiders only kind of information. So I'll be happy to answer questions more one-on-one with anyone, but this marketing technique or strategy or plan that we have has been very successful for us this year in our dress program. And we're going to give you the full details on how to run that program. And then they're going to get the dresses, and then they're going to have those dresses for at least 2 weekends. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to place the order, get the dresses. And if you get the dresses on a Thursday or Friday, then you've got your model coming in or 2 models. You'll photograph them. The photographer would photograph those on Thursday or Friday, edit the images that Saturday. And then that Saturday or that Sunday, you run your ad all week and you have sessions that are then available the following weekend where they can photograph the people that they book. And then they return the dresses the following Monday or Tuesday. So this is a way that you're going to get the dresses for an extended amount of time. You're going to get them 50% off, and you're going to get to shoot your own model. So you'll have your own look to run in your Facebook ads. You're also going to be part of a Facebook group for those in this specific workshop that we can share. If we need to share backgrounds, we need to share editing techniques, we need to share how our marketing is working or not working, what you're doing wrong. That'll be a place where we can work together as a community of photographers to build our dress program.
One thing on the rentals is I don't just say you have to rent it and you're going to get it Thursday. If you need it Monday, check that day. You can pick any day of the week.
Perfect.
You don't have to pick one
certain
day.
days. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did we have a question? Okay.
I know to ask Chris for the in-studio workshop, how much control would each photographer have an opportunity to style and direct?
100%. So what I will do is, as each model is ready, what I'm going to do is here's what I hope will happen. And we haven't talked about this, but that's okay. What I hope happens is I get all of this. So if that's Saturday when we have the students in here, what I'm hoping is I get my models and they come in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday before the workshop, and I photograph them the way I want to photograph them so that when we start Saturday, I can already show you finished images we've already photographed of those models. So then when we start the workshop, the photographers will be the ones shooting, and I'll just be assisting. I'll be helping with lighting and things like that. So my goal is the in-person people will have 100% say in adjusting the lighting, adjusting the backgrounds, working with the model. And we're going to stagger the models. We're not going to have all the models here at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. So we'll probably have one model from 9 to 11, the next model from 11 to 1, take a break at 1, then the next model come at 2:30, and then the next model come at 3:30 or something like that.
And I'll be dressing the models, so you don't have
Yes.
to worry about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's important because I think I said it, but I think it's important that they know you will be here. So you'll be an incredible resource, probably not just dressing them, but even posing them. Because you're,
Making sure that the fluff is the way it
yeah, so that's just going to be awesome. So both of us will be here so I can focus on helping with the lighting, and then you can focus on helping with the model and making sure the dress looks the way you want it to look. And as we get closer, you and I will talk about what extra props do we need to bring. And I'll be talking with you. Hey, this is my style. What I like. What do we do with the model's hands? That's always a big one. So what can they hold? That's a big thing for me is the easiest way to deal with hands is put something in them. Flowers, teddy bears, a violin, a cat, a book. So that's one of the things that you and I will talk about is, okay, with these different dresses that we're going to shoot, what props can we add to the shoot so that it almost forces a pose? If there's a violin being held, there's only a couple of ways that you would do something with a violin, right? So that really helps the posing and everything.
What time do you think each photographer will have with their model?
Really what that comes down to is how many photographers we have.
exactly.
And you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm just going to call it here. I'm not going to limit it to 8 photographers. I'm limiting it to 6. And I already know that we already have one that is already confirmed will be here. So really, I only have 5 spots available for photographers in person, right? Because I just don't want, that's what I don't want. I don't want a situation where someone feels like they have to rush or they can't get the shots that they want to get. I'll even do this. I don't have a problem doing this. I don't think you and I can talk about this. If someone is coming in,
Make his own decision.
no, yeah,
There.
if someone's coming in from out of town, I'm sure that I can get 1 or 2 models that can be here Friday, and we can do a half day on Friday that isn't live streamed.
Can be here too.
Yeah, so we will accommodate. So if we can do some models on Friday, we just don't live stream that. What we can do is record some behind the scenes of that and take some of the images and share. So the photographers that do want to come live, we will make the studio available for that Friday afternoon to photograph. And I'll make sure we've got a few models, the dresses and everything's going to be here. So we will extend the photographers that want to be here live in McKinney to do some bonus shooting on that Friday. And here's what I'll do too, is on that Friday, what I'll do is, and this is what I would really love. I would really love, and I already know a couple of styles I'll share with you. I'll even share it with the group. I have a Pinterest board that I use for inspiration images. So it's other photographers' work, it's paintings, it's just anything that I see that inspires me. I've got a board that I put it in. So that now when I need an idea for a shoot, say a competition image, I go through there and I'll look at a couple of different things and I go, oh, well, I like that outfit, but I like this lighting. Oh, I like that pose. And so now I come up with an image in my head that I want to create. So what we'll do on that Friday is maybe you and I will work up a concept for a competition image that I would enter in competition this year. And we will shoot that image as part of Friday. So whatever photographers are here would get to see you and I working, and we'll work on the props and the set and all of that to do a simple fine art, vintage, old master style portrait that we can create. So that would be fun where.
Someone tell me the line from Maryland.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I spent dinner last night with some friends and it was all organized because a friend of mine in Maryland was in town. So that's fantastic. So I think that would be fun to work with you, and we'll come up with I'll share my board. I don't even mind sharing my board with everyone that's in the workshop on how I use that to inspire me. So here's 2 more things that you're going to get in that workshop that come on Sunday. I'm going to drag this over. So one of the other things that has been incredibly successful for us is creating what we call, I'll move here. You can stand right here. So I'll hide behind it. So what we call creating, Lori, is that okay? Can they see the texture on this? So one of the things that we do is we print these ourselves, but you don't have to. We don't print all of them ourselves when we're busy during Santa season. And I need to create what we call one of our heirloom portraits. That's what this is. I'll just order on a canvas on a Masonite through H, and it'll come in. And then what I do is I embellish this. And what that basically means is I'm adding the texture and the brush strokes on here. So it gives it that vibe and that feeling of a real painting. So in this class on Sunday afternoon, I'm going to teach you guys how to embellish this image. So you're going to get to learn, you're going to get to know what products you have to have, and you're going to learn the techniques to create this painterly look. This is one of our most popular items. It's our highest price item on our price sheet. It's our heirloom portraits, and our clients absolutely love it. When we sell this to a client, we include the frame. We do. And then the last thing that's really cool is we will show you how to register this artwork with a online service, so that if a client's going to pay, we've got clients that pay as much as $5,500 for one of these. So if a client's going to pay for that much for this, we've figured out a way to protect their investment. So if like this, we did this one for Bryce, that was his name. This was a high school senior. And I painted hers, but she has it at home. I didn't paint one for the studio. The mom loved this so much, but I'll tell you what sold it, that she had her daughter come from college and we had to create one for her. This was his senior portrait. And so what we did was when we told her about this and we registered it with the online service, now what happens if something happens to me, which it's going to, none of us get out of here alive, right? But if we're gone, and let's just say something happens, mom, and they move to Florida and there's a hurricane, or they go to Houston and there's a hurricane, and this is damaged or lost, doesn't matter if it's 5 years from now, 25 years from now, because it's registered on this website, that mom can have this replaced, even if I'm gone. So the mom absolutely loved that idea. And when we do our dress program, the marketing program that I am going to teach you guys, this is part of that. The
maker in me wants to know how to do.
Yes. If you're going to come on Sunday,
I'm going to.
Yeah, be here that Sunday. And I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll be here that Sunday. And what I'll do is we'll take one of the images we shoot on Friday and we'll embellish it. Maybe the competition one or whatever that I do, we will embellish that image and I'll let you be the one to embellish it.
Oh,
okay.
To mess it up.
Yeah, you can't mess it up. Not a big deal. So that's part of also what you're going to learn. I'm trying to be as vague as possible on the marketing program. I don't know what that means. I don't know what. Oh, okay. You use words. I don't know what that hand signal is. Yes. So let me move this out of the way. I'm honestly really excited to teach this workshop because, like I said, the difference in the other workshops that we do, and I didn't really think that much about it, but it takes a significant investment in time and energy and resources to buy all the props and to do all of these things.
Driving around with the gas.
Yeah. And hours sanding rocks, turning them into stuff, and then finding a chair, finding a ladder for the Santa set. All of those things take lots of time and energy, and you're hoping. So what's going to be really cool about this workshop is the investment is so minor. And I think I'm excited to show that. And I'm excited to work with you too. You're so freaking creative on how the different props and things like that can help with the posing and stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I know I'm talking a lot, just what I do, but this is a hard workshop to put on paper and let people read it and see what it does, because there's so many different moving parts to it. But I'm really excited to teach this one and create some really cool images. And part of me too is just really excited that we're going to get to work together, and we've got so many different options on dresses. So
hundreds of them at the house.
That's crazy.
I even have the lacy vintage short dresses, like mainly for little girls.
Awesome. So yeah, so let's say this. So Lori's going to she'll post it in the link. So the workshop is $295. That's cheap. If you go to some of the couture dress workshops, they're usually $1,000 or $1,500. And this is what we are trying to do. I'll reiterate this for anyone who wasn't aware. Maybe you weren't in our storybook or Santa boot camp that's going on right now. We are really making a hard effort to change the business model of education for photographers, where they get an opportunity to get close to hands-on, but they get real-time education. I struggle learning by watching 2 hours because my ADD and ADHD I get distracted. I get on my phone and I'm doing all this stuff. Yeah, but if I'm watching something live where I can ask a question or it can be interactive, I stay focused so much better. And what we're trying to do, we recognize that it's expensive to go to a workshop. There's the airfare, the hotel, food, rental car. Even if the workshop is only $700 or $800, by the time you get done and you're away from your business, not making any money, you're going to spend $3,000 or $4,000. So what we're hoping to do, at least 6 to 8 workshops a month, is to get that cost down as much as we can. And so if we can do this and get 6 or 8 photographers live, and then we can get another 10 or 15 to come on board on the live stream, and then we have the Facebook group that they get continuing education, it makes it very affordable for the photographers to do this. And this is, I've said it before, but Lori has her master's in education. She was a teacher. She was an assistant high school principal. So this really falls into her wheelhouse. So she's the behind the scenes person of our whole education program. It helps fulfill that desire that she has to be part of education. So any other questions or anything? So what I will say is we do have so right now, Lori posted the link. If you go and sign up, there is the first 10 even get $50 off the $295. So it's only $245 to sign up for the first 10. And I know we've had 1 or 2 sign up already. So I don't know where we are on that, but it's the software or the website will know when it hits 10. So do you have any questions for me?
Nope.
Do you guys have any questions for me? Let's see in the chat. And if you have, I will say this, if they go to your website or anyone that signs up for the workshop, I think this is important. Once you sign up for the workshop, it'll take us a day or two, but we're going to get you your code within a few days so that they can even start renting the dresses immediately. They don't have to wait for the workshop. Then I think I forgot, in the marketing program.
Sure, the ones that you want are blocked out.
Okay.
For the August.
Okay. So and I can't talk about the marketing program, but there's going to be a ridiculous benefit for you guys doing this. Once you sign up for this, then I'll share probably the biggest advantage. Y'all don't even know what it is yet, but I just don't want to share it publicly. The biggest advantage you're going to get from doing this workshop that's going to send your marketing just over the top. It's going to make it where you've got people really responding to your ads and wanting to be part of your dress program. So we know what it is, but I'll share it. Once you sign up, then shoot me a message and I'll explain what that kind of secret sauce is, so to speak. Any questions on chat? Okay.
Is the workshop recorded?
Yes, 100%. Let's make sure that's clear. The workshop is recorded. It's live streamed. It is recorded. So even if you can't be there, you can, just like we're doing with our other ones, it'll be recorded. You'll get a link to download all of the instruction, everything from both days. And we might even do, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how Friday goes. I don't want to commit
So
to
people that didn't pay to come can just watch it. Is that
No, so if they're not here in person and they sign up for the workshop, even if they're on
they can
vacation,
and then just be home and watch it.
they can be home and watch it and participate. Lori will be doing production like she's doing now, where when we're shooting, if they have questions during the chat, they can ask questions. But even if you're going to be out of town that weekend and you can't join live, you will get the recorded versions of the 2 days if you purchase the workshop. And if you're here live, you'll also get the recorded version. So anyone who signs up is going to get the recorded versions of the workshop. So that's our new business model that we're trying to do for our education. we're really trying to focus on the ability for people to participate through the live stream, but also have the recordings if they have to. Maybe they can only be here part day of that Saturday. Maybe they don't want to sit through and watch somebody else shoot all day, but they want to just tune in and tune out and see what's going on. But then they definitely want to see the editing and all of that. And they want the marketing program. They want the ability to get the discount off your dresses for at least a year. It's going to be 50% off 2 dresses. I think that's important. The workshop will pay for itself in 2 rentals.
Well, a few rentals.
Yeah.
Some are only $75.
That's fair. And I'm calling an average rental 125, but a lot of them aren't. They're 75 or something like that.
The shorter ones are cheaper.
I just remember when we were in dresses, I tend to like the big gowns. So they're a little bit more. That's just my style. So they were always around 125 or so. So I know if I signed up for this workshop and it cost me $250 or $300, by the time I did 2 rentals with any hair pieces or something like that, then I've paid for the workshop. And then going forward to the rest of the year or for a year, then right now we're saying at least a year. I don't know that we have plans to extend it, but what we have to watch and what you and I've talked about is what happens if you have 50 people that we sign up for this workshop and you have that many people renting dresses that much. Are you going to have enough dresses? And
different weeks
right,
probably won't matter much, but
right.
if it's all at once,
yeah. So that's the part that
you'll be very limited on your selection.
yeah. So that's the part that we don't know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there'll probably be gowns there. There's a lot of them. Just be a
but
limited
they can pre-book gowns for
180 days out.
180 days out. You can pre-book your 2-week
And I
period.
can extend that. If that's something you guys think you need a year out to book, I can open that up.
And it's not this. I want to make sure this is because I was trying to work another program. This is on any dress that you have in your rental program. And
which I'll be adding a lot to.
Yeah, she's going to be adding, we talked about adding a bunch. It's not like it's not like stuff that's your old stuff. So anything you come out with, everything applies to this. It's not limited to a certain category or only certain dresses or something like that.
Correct.
So
some of the avant-garde can't ship.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bold.
Yeah, some of that's crazy. Isn't there like a castle dress or something?
Yes, it's 3D printed castle corset.
A 3D printed castle corset. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then hand molded plastic tops.
And there was one you made out of, what was it made out of?
Pizza.
Then there was another one that was out of it's a picture of you in it.
Butterflies and wire.
Yeah, butterflies and wire.
Yeah, a lot of floating butterflies.
But
did you put that one up? The butterfly one?
And so I do want to do this real quick.
That one's under just Luxe Couture, not under the rental.
So as we wrap up in the spirit of the happy hour, do you drink bourbon?
Me, no.
Okay. I'm just going to do a very small sip of bourbon.
Be able to have it drink.
I don't know. That's it. But no, I do. In all seriousness. So we'll toast your water.
Toast to my water.
So we'll toast to a new friendship and a new relationship. But also, I do seriously want to do a special toast to Eugene, but to Ramsey, just really at the end. When I got into photography, I showed up at Competitive Camera and didn't have a clue what I needed. And I met Eugene. This was about 20 years ago. And I remember it because I was on my way to photograph the Rockettes. And it was for a magazine. And I'd had a cheap camera and stuff. And I went in and went to Eugene and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. I was shooting for the magazine. And that day, 20 years ago, I have spent 90% of the money that I spend on camera gear with Competitive. And it's been because of Ramsey and Eugene. I don't know how many times I've gone in and said, hey, I really like this lens, this new lens that's out. And Eugene would just look at me and shake his head no. He goes, you don't need that. You don't shoot that kind of photography. You don't need it. So I don't know how much money Eugene has saved me over the years. I don't know how many times I've had a problem or had an issue. I know he Ubered a camera to me a couple of years ago when we had a camera break during Santa sessions. And I just called him and said, Eugene, I'm in trouble. We start shooting Santa in 30 minutes and my camera broke. And he said, I've got your address. It's on its way. Just call me tomorrow the next day and pay me for it. And he sent me the camera with the lens and everything. And there's been so many times that Eugene has stepped up and helped me in a situation where something broke or I needed something for a shoot. And he just said, come get it. It's on its way. Or I would send Lori to get it or whatever. And he would say, we'll take care of it next time you're in. And so it's been a fantastic relationship. And I do want to toast Ramsey, and we will see Eugene and their family tomorrow. So to Eugene and them. Yes.
So even if the dress isn't available for rental, it will be for us.
What does that mean?
Think it's not all over list.
Oh, I just have a lot that I haven't put on there yet. So once it's on there, it'll be available for anybody to rent, y'all and anyone.
So I think maybe what they're
Or-
thinking is you've got some that are in the for sale section that aren't in rental.
Oh, those are
But-
fun probably.
Okay.
But I have some that I still have that I never list.
So you'll be putting some more dresses up in the
A
rental.
lot.
But if a dress is in the for sale and not in the rental, it's probably not available to be rented.
It's probably a pre-order. So now
Okay. But they can always send you a
you
message.
can always give me suggestions. I can make anything.
Awesome. How long does it take to make a dress?
About 40 hours.
Okay, that's not as
I've got it takes 200 plus.
wow.
Yeah, I spent over 200 hours on that butterfly gown.
Wow. So we will need I'll give you an update. So we will need this. We will need a special dress for Lori. We're going to need a special dress. Okay. I'm going to buy you this dress. So I need you to, don't hurt me
You're
too
gonna
bad.
design a dress? I
No.
do take design. If you want to design,
No, I'll let you and Lori talk about it. But Lori received her PPA craftsman degree. And so in January, she will be walking the stage at Imaging. And so she needs a dress for that. And we need to figure out when we're teaching at Shutterfest what the party is. So maybe somehow we can use that dress twice so that we can use it when we're teaching at Shutterfest, because they always do some kind of crazy parties. And she can wear the dress for that party and she can wear it for Imaging. And then you and I need to talk about Shutterfest. So I'm allowed to have an assistant at Shutterfest. And I know we're going to talk about,
going to camera.
we'll talk
I
about
went to the one in New York. It was awesome.
Shutterfest is unbelievable. We need to talk about Shutterfest, and I can put you on as my assistant. And I know that in one of the classes we're teaching about what we're teaching at this workshop. So we'll need a couple of your dresses. We're going to have a conversation about Shutterfest. So maybe you can come with us to Shutterfest or something. We'll figure that out. So, because Shutterfest is insane. It's over the top. Okay. If there's no other questions, I think we're going to sign out.
Can I answer their question about what they were asking? Okay.
Okay. All right. Everybody have a good weekend. Stay cool if you're in Texas, because it is stupid hot. Okay. We'll talk to you guys soon.